California again, guys. Let's talk about the Golden State, because a ride-hailing law in the Golden State is being claimed to be discriminatory and unconstitutional. Let's have a look at this, guys, here on the channel as always. So this all relates to a certain someone called Ted Mack. Now, Ted Mack lives in Wyoming, but he frequently travels to California to take care of his aging mother. However, he is prohibited by state law in California from giving you a lift while he's doing so. See, that's a long way. That's going to cost him a lot in gas money, and he wants to make some of that back by actually transporting people while he does so, carpooling in a sense, or in this sense, actually ride-hailing. But that is illegal in California. See, you have to have an in-state driver's license to drive passengers for ride-hailing companies. Mack obviously has a Wyoming license, hence why he lives there, so he cannot do ride-hailing in California. Which seems a bit ridiculous, to be honest with you, because this isn't someone who's just passed their driving test. He's driven safely as a truck driver for decades now. And in fact, he actually lived in California previously for 56 years, so he has lived the majority of his life in California. But because he lives in Wyoming, he can't do ride-hailing in California. And it's a bit of a unique situation in the US anyway, because obviously you don't get a United States driving license. You get a state license for whichever state you actually live in, which, as far as I'm aware, is quite unique. I don't know if any other country has something like that. Maybe Canada or Australia has it with their states and provinces and territories. I'm not sure how it all works there. But in most countries, you just get a driver's license for the country and that's it. But California has a weird law when it comes to ride-hailing. You have to have a Californian license. It's not good enough just to have an American one from a different state. But then you get some weird grey areas. Let's say the city of Reno in Nevada, which is right on the border with California. They can take passengers from Nevada into California, but they cannot take passengers the other way, going from California to Reno, if they have a Nevada license. It's an absolutely bizarre situation. So this is the thing that a lot of people are calling up on Gavin Newsom, of course, the controversial governor of California. He is now saying, oh, immigrants are welcome to come to California. You can ply your trade here, you can settle here, you can live the American dream. But if you're an American citizen who lives in another state, even if you've lived for decades in California, you cannot take passengers from California back to your home state, or any other state for that matter, if you don't have a California driver's license, if you live in another state. So presumably you could be like a Mexican or someone like that, someone from South America or something like that, right? And you can come to California, get a Californian license, which we know they can do. Remember Harjinder Singh, the illegal Indian immigrant who got a license in California, right? It was easy for him to go and do that and drive trucks across the country. But if you're an American citizen in Wyoming, you can't go ride-hailing in California. You can't do it. I mean, do I need to say any more on that? Really, that is shocking. And this is why it's potentially unconstitutional as well. See, the actual Constitution of the United States prohibits states from discriminating against other states within the US. They can't do that. Now, it is legal to discriminate against people from other countries. I mean, we could talk about the ethics and morality of that another time. That's a separate discussion for a separate video maybe at some point. But when it comes to discriminating against people within the US, other Americans, you can't do it. It's unconstitutional. But in the past, states have discriminated against each other. See, take the example of New York and New Jersey, where a couple of 100 years ago, New Jersey ships were charged a really high amount by New York ports to go and dock in them. Of course, New York and New Jersey, they are neighbouring states. They share the New York City metropolitan area with each other these days. But that was in the times of James Madison. That was a long, long time ago. So for a state to do this in the 21st century is absolutely obscene. It's something you didn't really even hear of in the 20th century. Occasionally in the 19th with examples like this, but they were very, very few and far between. So what's going to happen now? Well, I'm reliably informed that the Interstate Commerce Clause is actually the organization that sets and regulates these kind of regulations. So for California to actually do this and enact it could be illegal, and there could be some legal challenges off the back of this as well. But we'll have to see if anything changes, guys. Any kind of updates with this, I will bring you on the channel as always. But this is an absolutely ridiculous one from California yet again. Whenever we talk about California here on the channel, guys, it's rarely in glowing terms. And with stuff like this, you can probably understand why. But yeah, have you heard of any of this before, guys? Is this something that's affected you or someone that you know? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always if you want to see more of this on the channel. Have a fantastic day. Have a good one.